I'm at a food place again this week. Can see? You see, I'm always at some fast food restaurant, right? Can see what's behind? Can make a guess? So easy, right?
Ma'am, Subway and Burger
Oh,
King.
so smart. Yes. I'm always
Because
eating
I have
Subway.
eaten Subway in Singapore.
I think
And
Subway.
I like this, and I like the Subway breads. They're yummy.
A Subway everywhere has, right? Do you have Subway in India? I'm sure, right? I'm sure there is Subway in India.
I don't know, ma'am. We don't know. I think so.
No,
It's
don't
there.
have?
My father is saying. I think so. It's there.
I thought it's international. Everywhere has Subway, like McDonald's. Actually, do you know that Subway has the most number of is the fast food restaurant which has the most number of branches in the world, even more than McDonald's, you know. McDonald's have lesser than Subway.
Ma'am, my mouth is watering seeing the Subway.
Oh, are you hungry? Go and get some food. But it's already quite late. You should have eaten dinner, right? I think you
Like
should
in
have eaten.
India, we eat dinner at 7 or 8 o'clock.
Okay. But
Ma'am, what is the time in Singapore right now?
Oh, now it's the same time, 9:30 at night.
Oh, 9:30.
Yes. So the
What
shops
are you
here.
doing in the night at 9:30?
Yeah, because actually I have night class, so I will study. I go and study, and then I finish my classes, and then I have this lesson with all of you. So I'm outside.
Wait, let me check the Singapore time. Oh,
yeah, 9:30 anyway.
no,
Anyway,
it's writing 9:35 p.m.
Yeah, it's quite late here. Anyway, so I say hello to everyone else. I know Jyotsna. Hello, Jyotsna. Are you eating your clothes? Are you eating your t-shirt? You are doing this. Are you hungry? Are you also hungry? Just joking. And then the rest of us. Hello, Disha. Is that Disha? Hello, Disha. I think it's my first time seeing you. Welcome. I'm Gwen, teacher Gwen. I'm from Singapore. Hello, Disha. How are you?
I'm fine. United Kingdom, the time is behind a little bit from Singapore.
Okay. Thank you, Arush. And then, yeah, Disha. So, how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Oh, you're 10 years old. Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome. And then, who else do I have? Welcome. And Yunati? Have I seen you before, Yunati? Do you want to switch on your video? Hello. Hello, Yunati. Hi, cannot see your face. Oh, hello. Yes, good to see you. Welcome. And let's switch on your microphone and say hi. Oh, can you hear me? Can you understand what I'm saying? I think you can understand English. I think so, right? So anyway, no problem. If you can't understand, it's fine. Maybe you can ask your mother or your friends to help to explain. Okay. And the rest, I have Araf and Abhinav. Yeah. Hello, Araf. Hello, Araf. Are you hungry?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Have you taken your dinner, Araf? Have you eaten your dinner?
No.
Ah. You haven't eaten your dinner so late? You're not hungry? Please go and eat fast. Fast. Go and eat. So late already. Please eat dinner, okay? So late. Yes.
7:04 in Indian, so we don't eat it because it's evening, and in evening we have to eat our snacks. That's why.
Eat snacks. So you eat snacks and then later you eat dinner.
Yes, in the night because it's evening and it's 7:04 right now. Of the evening.
Oh, so after lesson then you have dinner.
No, after some time I
Oh, so it's still early now?
yes, it's very early from 9:30 at night right now.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. I thought it's already quite late for you to eat. Okay, doesn't matter. It's fine. I feel a bit hungry. Maybe I should drink. I could eat something else after my class now. Okay, never mind. Later, okay? I smell a lot of burgers and French fries now. Wow, I'm so hungry. Okay. Anyway, we will go for our lesson today. What is it? Oh, yeah. Today's lesson, I wanted to share this with all of you. I think you can see the screen, right? So let me put this up onto the presentation mode. Okay, can see? So what are we going to talk about today? We will be sharing about the different types of houses in Singapore. That what we have here in Singapore for people to stay. So I think it's maybe a bit different from your country. But maybe I don't know. I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with India. So let me share with you what we have. Okay, the different houses. So the first picture that you see now on my screen, okay, all of you can see, what you can see is the panoramic view of a typical housing estate in Singapore. So Singapore is not very big. In fact, it's a very, very small country. So we are like an island. So it's just north, south, east, and west. So where I am staying in Singapore, I stay in the east side of Singapore. Yeah, and a lot of us, we stay in a very typical place. So the first picture that you see now, it's called a HDB flat. And what is the meaning of HDB? Can someone read for me the words here? Anyone can read the words for me?
Development Board.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Thank you for reading that for me. Yeah, correct. So Housing Development Board, in other words, this is a government built house, right? So in Singapore, we have at least we have around 80 to 90% of people staying in such houses. And the reason is because it's cheaper. Okay, it's not because it's it's not because it's cheap and therefore it's not a good quality house. We do have many houses that are also very, very expensive, which is also a government house. So just to give an example, the most expensive government house that was sold in Singapore, it cost over 1 million Singapore dollars. Okay, so I can't remember how much is I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't really know the value of the conversion from Singapore dollars to rupees. But to us, does anyone know $1 million Singapore dollars convert to Indian rupees? I think that's a lot of money, okay? But can you imagine, all right? Okay, so for us, a typical house in Singapore, I think for just a 90 square meters house, it depends on the location as well. But usually a 90 square meter house in Singapore would cost around like 400,000 Singapore dollars. It's quite expensive, and in Singapore we are also very notorious for expensive housing. Yeah, so Mr. Vish, he has shared, right? 1 Singapore dollar is equal to around 50 rupees. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vish. So yeah, I mean, if it's $1, convert to 50 rupees. So can you imagine 1 million Singapore dollars? How much is that, right? That's a lot of money. But anyway, that is just for example. Of course, our government house, we are not so making it so expensive that people cannot afford to buy a house. Because the idea is the government wants to help people to have houses that are affordable for them to buy. So if you look at my picture here, yeah, oh, today I can do some annotation. So that's great. Thank you, Mr. Vish. Look at this picture at the top. Can you look at the pictures on the houses? Can anyone tell me what do you see? These little things on the picture?
Yes.
Yeah. It's on the or Disha, do you want to try? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi Disha. Disha, you want to try? What is the pictures here? These are all mural paintings on the wall of the buildings. And it's a picture, right? It's some pictures that you can decorate the houses with. Do you want me to make the picture bigger? I don't know whether I can make it bigger. Oh, Disha, can you see the building pictures?
Yes.
So you want to guess what are the pictures here? Anyone want to try? Or you want to try, how about Unati? Unati, you want to try the pictures? It's actually very simple. It's just some designs that we draw on the houses. It depends, okay? Some houses have no pictures. Some have pictures. It's just to decorate and make it look nice. Like this one has no pictures, right? Okay, anyway, if you don't have the answer, all these are just pictures of kites. Do you know kites? The one that you fly kites and you run, and when you run, the wind will blow and the kite will go up into the sky and you can just play with it. So these are just pictures of kites that are drawn on the walls of the house. So for myself, I used to stay in this kind of houses in Singapore. So I stay with my parents last time when I was young. So yeah, we typically stay in this kind of houses until we grow up and we get married and we stay on our own, right? So do you have this kind of, I'm not sure whether your country have such public houses built by the government. Do you have that, Arush?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a government house like this?
Ma'am, I don't know.
No?
No.
Okay, so what I mean, most of the people in India, what kind of houses do you stay in? Is it like this? Let me, yeah, let me show.
Not like this weird.
Is it like this? Is it on the picture?
No,
Like
it's like an apartment. It's like an apartment.
it's not like this.
Like, ma'am, like quarters, flats.
Okay. So your house, how many floors do you have? Is it a big building with many floors?
Mine has 4.
Four floors?
Me and Arav stay in same house only and in same like there are lots of apartments in one house. Like me and Arav both stay in one apartment only and both are sitting in other rooms.
Okay, so your apartment is a building with 4 floors, right? 4 levels.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then there are other also.
My dream is like the second photo.
No, I mean the house, the apartment that you stay, are there other people who stay also? Neighbors.
Yes, ma'am. Neighbor state.
Okay, I see. But do you have the houses like this? Wait, let me go back to the picture just now. First picture, so big, right? Oops, like many floors. Like
No.
this
No,
must be like.
no. This type of house doesn't have a 4 floors.
Okay, I see. So actually, why do we build very high floors in Singapore? Okay, so for example, the house that I used to stay in when I was a small kid, it was around 22 floors. So there's like a a big building with many floors. And nowadays, our houses, our HDB houses, which is government house, they can build it up to 55 floors or 60 floors. So why is the government building such high and tall buildings? So I can only imagine that one of the reason is because our population, the people that are staying in Singapore is so many and we have no space because Singapore is so small. So our government, we have began to build houses that are small in size, but taller, much taller. All right. So I hope all of us can write down these words on the screen here. Okay, you can write the full spelling, which is the housing. Oops. Sorry. Let me put it up again. My slides were not here. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, can see my screen, right? So please help me to write down the words on your paper. I think that would be very helpful if you can write it down. Can you write this? Housing Development Board. Okay, everyone, maybe if you have piece of paper and pen, please write down HDB, or you can write down Housing Development Flats, Housing Development Board, HDB flats. All right, so that you can remember what I just shared with you. So I'll put it in the chat as well. After you have finished writing, please can you show it to me on the camera? HDB flats. Can? Josna, are you writing down? Josna, are you there? Oh, you're not there. Oh dear. Abhinav? Ara or Disha, can you write down for me and show me, please? Arush, are you writing it down, please? Arush? Arush, are you writing down?
Yes, sir.
You finished writing? Can I
but
see?
that's why you have to not be disconnected.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So when you're writing, I'll just continue,
Whatever
okay?
reason, once
Ma'am, I am writing in my word pad.
Okay, you write it already. Good. All right, so I'll continue with the next one. The next kind of house that we have in Singapore, it's called executive condominium, right? And you can see that I have written the word here, which is at the bracket, I wrote HDB as well. Okay, so when you see this word HDB, it just means it's government house, right? Which is Housing Development Board. And why do I call it HDB? Because this is a condominium, but it's built by the government. All right. So please write this down. Okay. Please write the executive condominium. You can write it down on your book again. Okay. Executive condominium HDB. It's a kind of house that is is better in terms of the design. Of course, the price is more expensive, but it has facilities, right? It has swimming pool, it has a barbecue pit, it has tennis courts. It's like a private house. But of course, you can see that it's also a lot of buildings, right? You can see that they are like high floors over here, like maybe like 20 floors or 15 floors. So it's almost like a flat, but it's more expensive. Okay, so people in Singapore, right? For example, if I have money, I can afford to pay more money, I will buy this house compared to maybe a fully private house, because a private house is more expensive. right? So I'm not very poor. I have some money.
Ma'am,
Arush, wait, 1 minute, okay? Yeah, so I'm just going to say that this house, which is called the executive condominium, is by the government. And after, if we buy it, we will be able to sell it away after 5 years. When you stay there for 5 years, we can sell it to Singaporeans because we are Singaporeans, right? So if I buy it, I'm a Singaporean. I will sell it after 5 years to Singaporeans. And if I don't sell it, I can wait another 5 years, which is the total of 10 years. Then I can sell it to anyone. Okay, I can sell it to a person from China. I can sell it to a person from Singapore. So these are the rules that the government is giving us. Okay, and then Arush, you have a question for me just now?
ma'am, but how will you buy this house?
Okay, we will buy
And
this.
in recent now, do you live in an apartment or something else?
Sorry?
Ma'am, do you live in an apartment or in something else or in a building?
I stay in a condominium now. Okay, but I mean, just now your question, right? Your question just now about how to buy this house, was that your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, so we buy this house from the government, right? Because it's built by the government, which is HDB, Housing Development Board. So what I will do is I have to, I have to apply to HDB. I have to show my bank account, how much money I have, which house I want to buy, and I have to apply and I have to wait for the chance. If I have a opportunity, I will be able to choose the house that I want. And of course, I have to pay the deposit, I have to pay money. So all this is like, it's very simple, right? I just have to buy it from the government. Of course, the price is different, right? The price is definitely more expensive. Okay, this executive condominium is more expensive than a flat because it's it's better in terms of the design, and of course I can sell it after a few years and I can maybe earn some profit. Okay, and of course there are more and more people in Singapore who are able to afford this kind of house. So our government is building more and more of such houses. Okay, so please write down this. Okay, you can write down EC for short, or you can write down executive condominium. And then next to it, you can put the bracket, which is HDB by the government. That's what I meant. Disha, are you okay? Do you have any questions for me, Disha?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Thanks. Araf, did you write down the names of the house, Araf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you wrote already. You have any questions for me, Araf?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, next one. I will say that this kind of house, which is also, it's the same. It's also a condominium. It's like an apartment, right, Arush? It's like what you said, Arush. It's also an apartment. But there is a difference, a little bit of difference. The difference here is it's private. Okay, private means it's built by a private company. Usually it's property companies like property developers called, a lot of our property companies are like Capital Land, Frasers, Qingjian. I mean, there are many condominiums in Singapore, okay? And also, the price of the private condominium, it's very expensive. Okay, it's more expensive than a HDB flat, and also it's more expensive than executive condominium. Simply because, right, once I buy it, maybe let's say I buy a condominium at 3 million Singapore dollars, okay? I can sell it very fast. I don't have to wait for 5 years. I don't have to wait for 10 years. I can sell it maybe within 3 months. If I find a buyer who is very happy to buy from me, I will sell. because I can earn money, right? And also, it just means that yeah, actually it just means it's more expensive. And usually, right, for private houses like condominium, it depends on the location as well. So if you have a private house, a private condominium like this, if you buy it in Orchard Road, okay, Orchard Road is a very, very expensive place in Singapore. I think some of you can remember because it's at the center of Singapore. So the kind of houses there are very expensive because of the location. And of course, it's very, very popular. A lot of foreigners, like you from India or China or American people, they like to stay there because it's good location and they can maybe rent the place for 1 year and stay there for 1 year. I don't know, it depends. And the amount of money, the rental money that they pay is very high because of the expensive place. So that's about it. Actually, that's the main difference between the government built condominium compared to this one, which is privately built. Okay, you just think of a house. The house is built by a government, or the house is built by someone else, which is from a ABC company. Okay, I will go on. If all of you can write down this, please, you can write down a condominium, and then in the bracket, medium. Let me put it in the chat. You can put it as private. Okay, these are the two kinds of condominiums, which is like an apartment, which is what Arush is staying in. But of course, the condominiums here are much, much, much bigger most of the time. Some of them are smaller, of course. But it's because our country is very small. We have no space. So a lot of our buildings are very big. I mean, very tall, not big, but very tall. Because we want to maximize the space, right? Okay. I'll continue with the next one, which is, can you see? Can you read for me the word? How about Abhinav? Abhinav, are you there? Can you read this word for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hi Abhinav. Can you read the words underlined in pink color?
Landed property.
Yeah, thank you. And what is this? Freehold?
Freehold
Yes.
or 99 years less.
Yes.
Lease.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhinav. Do you know the meaning of freehold?
No.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So let me explain this. Again, it's a very simple idea, okay? So in Singapore, a lot of our land, okay, the land that we live on, the piece of land that our building is built or whatever, it's expensive, okay? Again, because of course Singapore is so small, we need a lot of land is very precious to us, okay? Because we don't have a lot of land, and of course other resources like water, what else? Water, petrol. We don't have this kind of resources, right? So if we have it, it's cheap, but because we don't have it, it's very limited, so it's expensive. So in Singapore, we have the Singapore Land Authority. Of course, it's by the government, right? Well, if you want to buy a piece of land in Singapore, number one is very expensive, okay? But if you have the money, you can buy it, of course, and you buy that piece of land. And if you buy that piece of land, it's called freehold. Or maybe if you build a house on that land and it's under the freehold ownership, it means that you can have the piece of land or the house, you can have it forever. Of course, until if you pass away, you can give away the house to your children, or you can give it to anyone you like, because that piece of land, it belongs to you. Okay. On the other hand, if it's a 99 years lease, which is on this side, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If you don't understand, please ask questions, okay? So for 99-year lease, it's just a bit different. It just means that you can only have this piece of land or this house for 99 years. It's the same with our government houses. A lot of our government houses, in fact, the majority are all under 99 years. So for example, if I buy a house, and maybe I buy a house that is already built 3 years ago, So my house is 3 years old and I can own the piece of land for, own the piece of house for another 96 years. But after that, I grow old, right? I become older and I pass away. And I still have some more years left, right? Because the house is still not 99 years, right? I still have maybe another 50 years of the house. And then maybe I give it to my children. And then maybe when my children have it, they can own it for another 50 years. And then, you know, they keep giving to your next generation, or you give to your friends or somebody, your relatives. Okay, so this is the concept of owning the house for how long? Forever or only for 99 years? And then again, for landed property, it's just usually it's a bigger house. Like you can see the pictures here. Do you see this one? So there is a garden in front of your house, or there is a garage, or there is a swimming pool. So you have your own house and you have some land in front of your house or behind or at the side. And that's your own property, your own space. Of course, it also means that it's more expensive compared to the government house. So not many people can afford because it's expensive, but maybe around 10% or 10 to 20% of Singaporeans, they can afford to buy a private house like that. So you can write these words here. You can put it in your notebook. You can write landed property over here, okay? Please write it down, then you can remember, okay? I'll put it in the chat as well. Jyotsna, can you understand what I was trying to say? Jyotsna, are you there? Okay, Jyotsna, so do you know what is 99 years lease?
Keep it for 99 years.
Oh, okay, good.
Then you can sell it.
Ah, okay, thank you. Okay, oh, sorry, do I have more time, Mr. Vish? Or I have to stop the lesson?
Yeah, you can do like another 5 minutes.
Oh, I see. Okay, another 5 minutes. Good, good. I think I have a bit more. Oh, I'll go through it quickly, okay? Sorry, where was I? Okay, so now I was at, okay, so now I'm at cluster home, okay? So a cluster home here on the picture, you can see that it's something in between a condominium.
Ma'am, my
And
father is in Reliance Cluster Manager.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so I was trying to say a cluster home is another kind of house in Singapore, which is between a condominium and a property, private property. So the space is maybe smaller than a private house. That's it. But it's bigger than a condominium. It's all about the space. And of course, the price, right? The price is more expensive than a condominium. You can write this down also in your chat, in your notebook, okay? Next one, I have to go through faster because we are short of time. I'm sorry for that. Okay, this one is called post-war flats. Okay, why do we call it post-war? Post-war because it's after the World War. Oh, sorry, it's after the World War II in Singapore. Like it's built around 1950, right? After the Second World War, which is around 1948, 1949. So the houses here are older and it's only left with not many in Singapore, but they are very expensive. Why are they expensive? Number one, because they are very rare, very expensive also because of the location and also the space. And the design is very vintage, very special. And typically it's like what Arush said, it's very small. No, not very small. It's like an apartment, right? You can see there's only 4 floors here, 3 or 4 floors. So this houses that I took pictures of is from Tiong Bahru, this area in Singapore, in the central of Singapore. So Tiong Bahru is a very popular place for food and yeah, it's also very famous for this kind of houses, okay? And yeah, each house here costs around at least 1 million. Okay, even though the space is not as big as a landed property, but it's still so expensive. And then I think it's going to be it will be there forever. The government will not remove them because it's a government gazetted national monument. You know, the government will maintain the houses, they will never remove it because it has historical significance. Okay, so I'll continue to the last one, I think. the last slide I have for today. Let me see if I can. Oops, am I stuck? Okay, the last one here for today. We call it a kampong. Okay, I will highlight the word here, kampong. So I actually wanted to test all of you what is kampong, but it's okay because we don't have time. Okay, so for kampong, the meaning is it's like a village. Okay, it actually comes from a Malay word, and in Singapore, our history was we are a island which is made up of a lot of kampongs. Kampongs is like different villages, right? And there are Chinese people, Indian people, Malay people, they live together. But these are all like short, very short houses, only one floor. And of course, the facilities are very old, like you can see here. There's
Ma'am,
no,
it's like a hut.
yeah, it's like a
looking
hut.
like-
Yeah, it's like a hut. It's made of wood, it's made of metal, it's very easy to break into fire because they are all, you know, they easily catch fire. So it's a bit dangerous to stay in this kind of places because there's a lot of fires that break out in such places. So of course, this one is still remaining in Singapore. It's the last one already. It's quite near to my current place, but it's the only one left. And currently it's like a tourist destination. A lot of people like to visit this place because it's the only one left in Singapore, because the rest of Singapore, we are modernized. We have already become a modern city, no more kampongs, because land is so precious to us, right? So we have this one left in Singapore, and I think it will be there forever because the government will want to preserve this kind of places in Singapore. Okay, so if you want to, you can write the name kampong in your book. Okay, so I think that's all I have for today. I'm sorry for rushing through the slides, but I hope you enjoy what I have today for you. Any questions for me today? Nisha or Jyotsna or Araf? Does anyone want to ask any questions? Are we good?
Yes.
Thank you. So I hope you enjoy what I have shared today. And please go and eat. Arush, you can eat Subway if you want. It's still open. I'm also hungry. I'm going to get myself a burger or something. Okay. So anyone, I'll see you next time. Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bish. Thank you, everyone.